On Tuesday, December 29th, we have the moon in Cancer preparing for its full moon reveal, basically at 11:30 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. So the whole day is going to be very emotional, especially building the intensity to when the full moon goes direct at 11:30. But we have to keep in mind that there are other aspects at play here, really helping us to see where endings need to be put in place for good, where closures need to take place for good. Again, we are taking the full moon opportunity to release energies. Now, this is called the wolf moon, and it is making a very important aspect with Uranus, which has the tendency to awaken us, show us a different perspective, and really open our minds to a new way of doing things moving forward. Now, this particular full moon in Cancer is going to be taking place at 8 degrees, 53 minutes. And this is really going to turn the heat up on our emotional state. I'll ask you to look out for the full moon in Cancer work guide, the energy guide that I put out. I'm not going to be doing any full moon Cancer readings this time around. My voice just can't take it. And to be totally honest, I am very behind in trying to get my current bookings actually completed in a timely manner. So we're just going to have to rely on the energy guide that I put out, but I would definitely recommend you kind of tapping into this full moon energy, because what's interesting about it is that back in January, we had the full moon in Cancer really start off what has been the Great Awakening, what has been a huge awakening year for many of us, and that started off this crazy, crazy year of 2020 that will soon be behind us. Adding on top of all this full moon in Cancer energy, which really is putting an emphasis on our home, on our family unit, on basically the boundaries that we now need to put in place in order to take care of ourselves, to nurture ourselves, to really see what it is we want to be moving into after we let go and release some of these connections and attachments that are no longer supporting us in our growth and in our emotional security. So we have Venus semi-squaring Jupiter, which is going to really put an emphasis on us looking for attention. We actually will go out of our way making extra efforts to actually be seen, good, bad, or otherwise, by the people that we actually feel disconnected from. We want to avoid impulse buys. Venus, of course, representing money and finances here. Jupiter acting as a magnifier, really putting everything on a little bit extra than it needs to be. And our personal lives, our personal issues, our connections with our loved ones. We want resolution. We want to fix the issues. We want to feel connected, but it's just not happening for us. And things can feel a little bit bigger than they actually are. We want to avoid making hasty decisions here. We want to avoid overstating our emotions, overstating our feelings. We don't want to overdo things here. You might have noticed that the word over is definitely in play, and with Jupiter being the great magnifier, really expanding and really putting a little bit extra layer on everything, this full moon is going to be hypersensitive enough. We really don't need to go that extra mile and elaborate and exaggerate and make things bigger than they actually are. It's going to be a hard energy to resist because, again, we are closing doors, we are closing chapters, we are surrendering to the cosmic energies of the universe. And this full moon in Cancer is really providing us with an opportunity to purge so that we can move into the brand new year with a clean, fresh slate.